What's up, guys? Today on Fishyy Talks, we're going to be jumping into Counter-Strike once again to be talking about a topic that has some serious misconceptions in the Counter-Strike community, and that topic is decision making. Whether you're a pro player or a brand new player, you're going to make a bad decision at a critical moment in a game at some point. It happens to all of us. And recently, Warowl did a video giving some advice to a newer player in the game, and it got a little bit of traction in the pro scene, and an ex-pro player named Dazed did a response video about it, giving his personal opinion and his personal advice to that specific player and about Warowl's video. Watching both the videos got me really thinking about how players in game make decisions and the difference between a player like Warowl and a player like Dazed separate pieces of advice to this newer player. And I'm going to link both the videos down in the description if you want to watch them, because I'm going to reference them a few times in the video. But today, I'm not going to be giving my personal opinion on the advice. I'm going to be talking about the bigger picture, and that's going to be the difference between practical and theoretical play. So before I get into the nitty gritty, something I really want to iron out is Warowl. I think it's very important to understand where Warowl's coming at as a content creator. He's not some pro player trying to give you some deep-seated strategy or some sort of advice that's going to make you from a good player to a pro player. His videos are meant for the newer players looking to become good, not good players looking to become pros. If you're watching a Warowl video as an already good player, a lot of his advice seems almost pointless and comes off as laughable at times, which is why he gets so much hate in the community, especially from other pro players. So when you're watching a video like Dazed's response or even just a normal Warowl video, you really have to understand where Warowl is coming from and where a player like Dazed is coming from, who's played at a very high level, is an ex-pro, to really understand where their mindsets are in the game. Otherwise, you're just gonna completely misunderstand the entire point of both of their videos. So that's just something to keep in mind, and that's something I'm going to reference a little bit going forward in the video. So without further ado, let's hop into the meat of the video. So when we're watching the Dazed video, Dazed's advice is to simply just hold the right side of fork in case a player peeks out wide to try to get you. And if he doesn't peek right away, then to crouch peek instead of slide peeking the fork player. Warowl's advice was to either not play that spot or to smoke yourself off or use your nades to try to get into the quad position or position further into the site. Now, when we're looking at both pieces of advice, one of them strikes me as very good on a theoretical level and the other strikes me as very good on a practical level. And the one that really strikes me as theory is Warowl's advice. Now, remember what I said about Warowl earlier. He's here to help newer players get better. Looking at Warowl's advice, we can see that it's meant to give you the highest percent chance of survival and a better position, at least in theory. At a fundamental level, surviving and using your nades to get into a better position is what you want to be doing, right? You want to stay alive and you want to be in a better position. And that's the point that Warowl's getting at. So as a newer player, now I'm learning the basis of what makes a good player, or how to set up a proper defense. You want to be in a better position and you want to stay alive as long as possible to delay the T-side take, so that way your teammates can rotate, you can get some help, and better defend the bomb site. And now that I know that, from there, with experience, I can learn to take a riskier play to give myself an even better position than just a plain fundamental position. Because once you have that fundamental understanding of the game, which is where Warowl in this video is trying to get at, you can really learn to tweak it and change it and take a riskier play. And that's where someone's advice like Dazed come in, where he is saying just take the fight, just don't miss the shot. When Dazed approaches this problem, he goes for the riskier play, but the play that he thinks gives him the greatest chance of survival, because in his eyes, pulling out a nade trying to get back to quad or back on a site is risky, because if the person peeks you when you have the nade out, you could potentially die. So in his eyes, it's better to just go for the frag, and I agree. But I also agree with Warowl's advice. In both scenarios, right, Warowl's scenario where you use the smoke to smoke yourself off and get to a better position, or Dazed's scenario where the guy wide peeks you and kills you with a nade out, both are very, very possible situations. But they also both give you great advantages, great positioning, and potentially open up the round to so many more CT side options. You can run through every single situation in a private match, you run through every scenario, everything, and you can practice you doing different smokes, different flashes, but only experience will guide you when you're trying to decide to break that theory and go for a risky and even seemingly stupid play, or go for the sound theoretical play. So when we're looking at both Warowl and Dazed's advice, both are really, really good on many different levels. But that's the beautiful thing about Counter-Strike. Experience is what guides you. Every single situation, every single bomb site take, every single bomb site defense, everything about the game is different every single time you approach it. and that's where experience really guides you. There's one thing I really want to teach you guys in this video. It's that as a player, you really need to define the difference between theoretical and practical play inside of the game Counter-Strike. No video is going to tell you exactly what you need to do in a given situation, because every situation is so different. These videos only serve as a really good basis. In this MBK corner example, right, this B-side player can peek wide, he can hold for a fork or a highway push by crouching down so you can't see him, he can run back at A main, he can molly you out, he can nade you. Like, there's so many different things that this C-side player can do, and there's so many things that you as a CT can do in that situation. So just looking at their one video on this specific situation and trying to follow it every single time isn't going to help you as a player. You need to find something that works for you. You need to either build off fundamentals, or you need to build off intuition and really find what style works for you, whether you want to be a passive or an aggressive type player, and just find what works for you and stick with it. The next time you watch one of these videos, really keep in mind the difference between theoretical and practical play, and also your own play style, because every situation is going to be so different. And remember, it's experience that guides you in deciding between to go for the fundamental play or to go for a play that's risky. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to experiment and find a play style that fits you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that sub button. Also, while you're at it, check out the description, check out all the videos that I'm going to be linking down. There's a Steel video, Dazed video, Warowl video, all the videos. Also, check out my social media. And as always, guys, see you guys on the other side.